It is Gyan. He's in the area. He scores! Asamoah Gyan.
The former Black Star striker, one of the star players of the 2010 FIFA World Cup for Ghana, Asamoah Gyan.
The African Nations Cup draw here in Yaoundé brought a lot of glory to many countries, and for the number of stars who mounted the podium and for the rest who graced the occasion, one Ghanaians can always be proud of and be happy of as Asamoah Gyan, who was the only Ghanaian to be on the platform to showcase the brilliance he's adored for the country over the years. And we have a very good time with him here at the Hilton Hotel in Yaoundé to share a lot of thoughts about the Nations Cup, the draw, and also the chances of the Black Stars amid a number of issues. Baby Jet, it's been a good time here this evening, but how do you feel? How do you feel being part of this event, this recognition by CAF?
I feel honored being here to represent Ghana, in the CAF draw. First of all, I'd like to thank CAF for the recognition, because it's not easy to be at this stage, to be part of this African Cup draw. I feel honored. I count myself one of the lucky guys out there. Special thanks to CAF for the recognition.
Now, there have been times a lot of legends were on the podium, some were also in the audience, and when Asamoah Gyan, after all you've done, what does it call back in your mind as Asamoah Gyan now not being on international level? What brings back?
Yeah, I just see myself from nowhere and then being up there. I always appreciate my teammates. When we talk about Asamoah Gyan, it's all about Ghana. All those guys I played for all these years. They are also part of this history, because without them I wouldn't have gotten where I am. So I always see myself like I had a dream, though. I had a dream, and I'm living in my dream because I was able to get to where I wanted to get. So I feel honored. I feel proud of myself. And I also thank my colleagues as well. Because I played with them, and I'm here now. So yeah.
Now, given an opportunity to undertake any ambassadorial role for CAF, are you willing to give it, or you would want to focus on something else?
Everything happens with time. When you talk about me, I never plan about doing anything. Sometimes I believe in destiny. When something is bound to happen, it happens. In my life, I never been a captain since I was a kid. I got to a time I became the Black Stars captain. So why not? I'm just praying for the Almighty God for good health and everything. Anytime CAF feels like he wants to use me for an ambassadorial job, why not? Because I've paid my dues. So definitely the health-wise is the most important thing. So I'm ready for anything.
Gyan ready for anything that comes his way. Does this mean that should coaching or managerial, you drop the ambassadorial role being effective?
Definitely. The coaching is also part of the plan. I've decided to get a coaching license, which is part of the plan. I'm not retired yet, so we will just try and plan it accordingly, and then we'll see what happens, because I don't want to go out of football completely. I have to be in the game. I'm a businessman as well, but I also have to be in the game, So we're planning on what to do, and definitely I should get a license and make sure I stay in the game.
Well, Gyan, we know that there have been many times that you've faltered when it comes to the senior national team, where Ghanaians have had their say at you. You've been lambasted, but they've been your glory days. How are you able to draw between what you faced in the past, what you faced in the country, and the honor CAF is giving you now?
It makes me strong. It makes me strong. It comes with the territory. When you are up there, politics, people want to just bring you down. People just fabricate lies just to tarnish your image. There are a lot of things happening when you are up there. Sometimes in the beginning I didn't get it, but I got to a time I felt like, oh, okay, it comes with the territory. When you are up there, everybody wants to take your place, so they'll do everything to bring you down, and that has made me a very, very strong guy. No matter what, I just keep going because I know what I can do, and I'm very good at what I do. So I don't let these things distract me. Sometimes it distracts me when my close people tell me the news than from the outside. But honestly, it has made me a strong man, and I always want to prove my critics wrong, and that has made me, and that has brought me where I am today. Because in life, I don't think it's good for everybody to like you, because when everybody likes you, you do the wrong things. Thinking is the right thing, So it's good to have a balanced thing. People might hate you, people might like you, and it keeps you going for you to prove your critics wrong, and that is what makes you keep going. So I like it.
Now, Gyan, to the chances of the senior national team, what do you make of this draw for the Black Stars?
On paper, Ghana is up there, on paper, but in football right now, you cannot predict, especially this tournament. Comoros is coming with a motivation for the first time. The motivation is great. They want to prove a point. Gabon is also up there. They have some good players around there. Not forgetting Aubameyang, one of the great players out there. Morocco did wonderfully in the qualification, conceded just one goal. And then of course Ghana, we are also there statistically. You see Morocco and Ghana there statistically, but it's a tricky group. As I said at the draw, it's a very, very tricky group, and that is where we should work out. We have to make sure we qualify from the group first, and then we think about winning the cup.
Yes, Ghana preparing for the African Nations Cup. A lot would go in there, managerial, players, and tactically we need to be sound for it. But let's have a closer look at the issues bit by bit. First of all, you look at the players that we have at the moment. Is there enough confidence? Does it inspire you? Does it give you a sense of thought that Ghana can win the Nations Cup?
In tournaments, anything happens in tournaments. When you have it's not like a league that you be preparing week in, week out. This is a tournament. Anything can happen. I remember in 2010, we were ruled out from the tournament because we had like 70% of the players being an under 20 team. Everybody ruled us out, but at the end of the day, we got to the final. We nearly lifted the cup. So in a tournament, things like this can happen. Zambia did the same. Nobody expected Zambia to win. Zambia did the same. So, of course, Ghana, the expectation is high back home. Everybody's tired about we getting to the semi-finals and going closer to the cup. All that people want is the cup. So, and also we've got young players who are also doing well in Europe. I don't know how good they're gonna approach in this tournament, because definitely there should be new faces in the national team. So we're looking forward to it. We're all Ghanaians who want to support, and then let's see what happens.
Well, before we come to the coaching bit, because the coach is definitely going to put all these players together. But the players themselves, just like you say, we have very young talent, a lot of them coming up. Salisu in Southampton, we have Kamaldeen Suleimana, we have Kamal Soa, Mohamed Kudu struggling with injuries. But you look at this pool, there are others also we are looking at, like Callum Hudson-Odoi to join the senior national team. What do you make of this pool of players? And for those we are trying to get, what advice would you give to them if you were asked to help bring them back at this moment?
I think we have time. Injuries happen in football. It's very unfortunate. Some of the players are injured right now, but I think we've got time. The tournament begins in January next year, so and there should be friendly games. The coach will do his work, invite a couple of players, and then at the end of the day, he gets his final squad to the tournament. So as one of the experienced players, all I wish is for the team to win the cup. I wish everybody luck. We can make sure we perform in the tournament, and we see what happens. If I meet them face to face, definitely I also share my experience, motivate them, and do what I can do to help the boys.
For Coach CK Akonnor, we know a lot of Ghanaians want to hold promise in the Ghanaian because all our African Nations Cup trophies have been brought by Ghanaians. Do you think CK Akonnor can bring this trophy to Ghana?
I think now, yeah. As you said, now COVID has interrupted a lot in the game. Going to stadium without fans and stuff. But now everything is getting back to normal. CK is a good guy. He's a good coach. A well-trained German coach. Who can handle pressure. So I don't think pressure is going to be his problem. Maybe it's going to be a good pressure because when you are up there, a lot of pressure. When you win, of course, people will praise you. When you lose, there will be bashing here and there. So at the end of the day, he knows what is better for him. So what we Ghanaians have to do is just support every decision he takes. People might object to selections and everything, but at the end of the day, we have to support because we're not looking at the team, we're looking at Ghana as a whole. So I think we have to just support him.
In supporting him, we have 2 games, 2 World Cup qualifiers every month till December. That is just before the African Nations Cup. Would that be good enough preparatory grounds for the coach and the team ahead of the AFCON? Because we may not have the opportunity to play any other friendly games prior to the tournament.
Yeah, that is going to be a bit difficult, squeezing everything within that short while, But it's our job. It's our job. It's the coach's job. Everybody wants to get an opportunity to play. So what we have to do is just stay focused and make sure you can deliver anytime you are handed the call up. I was handed the call up. I was able to utilize my chances. Others also wish to be there. So anytime they get the opportunity, my advice to the young ones coming in, just make sure you utilize your opportunity, and then we see how it goes. But it's going to be a very, very difficult schedule till the African Cup of Nations. A lot of players playing in Europe might be key players in their European teams. Their European teams will be much worried losing their players. But it comes with the territory. So right now we are thinking about Ghana just to lift the cup. So the preparation is going to be a bit distracting, but we'll see how it goes.
Now, with what we've been seeing, a lot of players are moving into the Gulf. They see a lot. You went there, you made your mark. Asamoah Gyan, and you still made your mark. What would you say? What would you say to people who get worried that most of our strong members, that is the spine of the team, are moving towards that part of the football?
Personally, I like challenges. When I moved there were a lot of talks. He was done. But I was able to prove myself. I went there and my goal ratio in the national team became much better than when I was in Europe. So we've got different players, and but all I can say is they're also going to play football. When they are focused there, and then they think about being consistent, there's not going to be any problem about their performance anywhere, because I went there, I saw what happened, but I don't know about others, how they're going to react to move into that place.
Well, still here at the Hilton Hotel, and then we're having a chit-chat with Asamoah Gyan. There's been a lot that the Black Stars have lost, the African Nations Cup. Now let's have a closer look at Gyan's time with the Black Stars and why we weren't able to win the African Nations Cup.
Yeah, I feel like I did my best. Football, anything can happen. I've been closer to it. So on so many occasions, I went to the final 2 times. I think 2015 was Ghana's. We blew it away, But I always believe in destiny. I had to do what I had to do to make sure Ghana wins it. My time, I don't know whether I'm up or not. There might be surprises, anything can happen. You might see me in January. Who knows? But me not winning it till now is a bit frustrating. Like, I always ask myself, why? Because I was in a generation that we could have won the African Cup easily. But sometimes I also tell myself, if I don't win it, somebody in my genes will win it. Me being a coach or my son or anything, anybody can win it. So, but personally, I think I'm starting to fight with what I've done for my country. People might disagree, but those who know football knows what I've done. So, yeah.
And it's Asamoah Gyan who arrived unmarked. It is Gyan. He's in the area. He scores! River Asamoah Gyan. And it's Asamoah Gyan who arrived unmarked. It is Gyan. He's in the area. He scores! River Asamoah Gyan.
Now, winning it, you still made your mark in there, scored a lot of goals, very wonderful goals. Many draw back into Asamoah Gyan at the African Nations Cup, and then all they can think of is he was the one who saved us almost every now and then. Which game would you pick as your toughest, and which goal would you still want to relive when given the opportunity?
I've scored many goals for the national team. We're not talking about best goals. We're not talking about important goals. What I think I can remember was that game against Algeria in 2015. There were a lot of things that went on behind the scene. Seriously sick. I had to join the team 5 hours to the game. I was able to score. The team went through to the final. So it's an occasion I will never forget. Because I felt like I risked my life to save the country. In the second game of the competition, and they were able to go through to the final. I've scored a lot of important goals. Talking about the World Cup against America, friendly game against England. There are a lot of memorable, but the game against Algeria, I will never forget because of my condition at that time and how I was able to play and then score. So yeah.
Now, baby, just trying to draw curtains on all this AFCON subject. Can Ghana clinch the title sooner than later? We've been on a drought for a long time, and do you trust Coach CK Akonnor and his technical team that they can bring the AFCON to Ghana come February?
I haven't been with a team in a while. Talk is cheap. Being here representing Ghana, it's so easy for me to say Ghana is going to win. But do we have the tools? I've seen a lot of good players who have never tasted a tournament before. That is why I'm saying we have to just go to the tournament, and when we qualify for the group, then we can analyze the team and see whether we can win it or not. Sometimes people go there, want to perform, and then it gets to a stage, they tell themselves they can win it. Leicester did it in the Premier League. It got to a time they felt they can win it. We also in 2010, we were able to qualify from the group with that young players. It got to a time we felt like, yes, we can win it. And then, final, anything can happen. So we should just pray to the Almighty God, make sure the team goes there, physically fit, no injuries, and qualify from the group. And then we can think about if we're gonna win it or not. But prediction for now, talk is cheap. I can say it, but do I really mean it? That is where the problem lies.
Now, Gyan, Africa football gradually, almost every now and then rising. Now we have a lot of players making waves, dominating the major leagues. What do you think is lacking that you think Africa football should have, the coming years to let us get to that level of the European?
Ego. When we talk about Africans, ego. You know, sometimes, for example, a coach tells you, when you get to the line, stop. He sees space. He doesn't know why the coach says that. He said, there is space. Why should I stop? I have to go. And then, so these are all the things you need to do. You know, tactically, we have to, and even technical as well, because we are gifted. You know, sometimes we come to the training, a coach says, just do passing. You know, we African, we get tired. We say this is for kids, but you don't know why. You know, so I'm really happy you added the technical and then the tactical. You know, that is our problem.
Okay. Now, Jan, whom would you pick as your best coach you've worked with the national team?
The best coach I've worked with.
You think made a lot of impact on you as a player, Jan, as a player in the national team?
I've worked with a lot of great coaches, you know. But the coach who brought out that confidence in me was Claude Leroy. You know, his time, I was battling injuries. I wasn't in my top shape at that time, but the way he was relating to me it was amazing. He spoke to me in a nice way. He gave me the confidence. He made me understand the game, you know. But it was rather unfortunate. I didn't do much when he was around. And unfortunately, the following year when Milo came, it manifested. You know, my confidence started coming, scoring goals, doing everything for the national team. That was in 2010, you know. But I think Claude Leroy started it.
There have been a lot of Ghanaians who have played football in the country. They've played outside, but they find it very difficult to come back home to finish up the trade they once started here. But Jan isn't one of those. He's come all the way back from European football to come and play in our local league. Jan, how was the feeling like, and your season in its entirety? How would you sum it up, all up?
Yeah, I came at the wrong time. You know, of course, COVID. You know, my wish was to play in front of the fans. You know, fortunately I couldn't. Secondly, also battling injuries. I wasn't able to maintain my weight. You know, that was my main problem, weight issue. But when it comes to football, I don't have any problem about football. You know, I was battling weight issues, and yeah, that was why I couldn't make so many much impact, because anytime I try to push, I get injuries. You know, and then injuries was also part of it. You know, at the end of the day, the season is over. This year, I'm trying to make sure I stay focused 100%. You know, and make sure I can do something. If not, then I can call it a day.
All right. So in the next season, we should expect a renewed Asamoah Gyan. That is if you can continue.
Yeah, that is what I'm looking at. You know, there are a lot of things that I've seen that I need to tackle. You know, so about the weight issues, how to prevent injuries, and all this. This is only what I need right now. You know, so I'll just have to work on it and then see if I'm able to do this. Then everybody's gonna see that Asamoah Gyan they know. Age-wise, I feel so young. You know, people saw me growing up. They might think I'm older, but I'm not old. You know, it's just physical ability that people are trying to, you know, but people can talk, but at the end of the day, I just want to be myself. I just want to stay focused in my line and then make sure I do what I have to do to be back on the field, and then I can deliver as everybody wants.
All right, so the standard of the league, the quality of play, how did you see it?
Not bad. Of course, pitches has been the main issue. You know, but talking about quality, I saw some young players who have the quality. You know, sometimes the field doesn't help them to exhibit their talent well. You know, but I've seen a lot of talents. You know, and for the first time, we see a lot of local players being into the senior national team, which is a very, very good thing. You know, I remember my time I was a local player when I was invited to the national team. You know, competed against those in Europe who were more competent, You know, now you can see 4 or 5 players joining them, which is a good thing, and it's good for the league as well.
Asamoah Gyan, the goal-scoring gem at the heart of Ghana's attack. Gyan steps up, Stojkovic goes the wrong way, and Ghana are going the right way.
He sent Trot to the wrong way. Here's a chase for Gyan. He's 1-on-2. It is Gyan. He's in the area. He scores! A goal, an individual brilliance from Asamoah Gyan.
So that's it all here at the Hilton Hotel in Yaoundé, where we caught up with the former captain of the Black Stars, Asamoah Gyan. We've touched on a lot of issues, and he's hoping that going into the African Nations Cup in January, Ghana can put all in its bets to get the very best, at least end the Nations Cup drought, which he and his colleagues tried their best but couldn't win for the country. This has been a 3 Sports production from Yaoundé in Cameroon.